Hello there guys, Wayne here from Luna's World. Welcome to Innsbruck. This, as you can tell in the title, is a pretty extreme experimental test, which is why we are in the V-Sky Labs Long EZ. This is an experimental aircraft, a lot of fun to fly. So yeah, the purpose of this test is to try out max settings. Let me just go to the configuration here. So as you can see, everything is completely maxed out with the exception of draw shadows on scenery. For some reason when I check this I get an error and X-plane crashes, so I can't use shadows on scenery in this beta. I haven't tried draw parked aircraft, I'm not going to risk it right now, but everything else is on max. We are getting right now 30 frames, let's say, and I don't know how stuttery this is going to be. My intuition tells me it's going to be pretty not very fun. I'm having issues with the rudder here. Maybe I need to, I'm not sure if I need to enable experimental flight. Let's requires aircraft reload. Okay, I'll do that. I'll bring you guys back. Okay, we're back. So enabled experimental flight model, and we shall see how this goes. So yeah, looking forward to testing it. I mean, the scenery does look absolutely beautiful. No jagged lines to be seen at all. I don't think I've ever tried it on this setting before. And yeah, that's why I wanted to do this sort of quick video on testing it out. My hat switch is kind of feels like it's stuck. I'm not sure if that's anything to do with anything. But yeah, let me just reset my view. That's a bit better. Maybe down a little bit. I have to say, it's not too stuttery currently. I do have an issue with the rudder pedal though. Alright. So let's see how this thing works up in the air. Shadows looking gorgeous, not a single... Oh, there's some jagged edges in the cockpit, but out on the out on the runway, nothing at all. Alright, here we go. So far so good. Actually gone up to 35 frames. Very acceptable. Whoa! Okay, that was a bit of a harsh takeoff there. Gain some altitude. I have to say my Saitek is behaving a little bit strangely. Not sure why that would be. But this is actually a pretty smooth experience. 39 frames now. Even in the turn, it's feeling pretty good. A little bit of stuttering there. Oh, someone mentioned about the lens flare. Yeah, you can turn lens flare off in SkyMax Pro if you don't like it. I know it is a little bit unrealistic because you don't get lens flare in your eyes, but maybe you're wearing glasses. But anyway, yeah, you can turn that off. We will try turning off SkyMax Pro as well, and we'll see what effect that has. But so far, this is pretty smooth. It's kind of made me rethink my settings. I mean, obviously in VR this would just, well, it would just come to a standstill, I think. But look at the amount of autogen down there. It's looking absolutely mind-blowing. Absolutely gorgeous. No blurries. But yeah, a little bit stuttery, if I'm honest. But I'm not really hugely noticing it. I do when I turn the hat switch, but as we know, that's a thing of X-Plane. But otherwise, very, very smooth. Let's climb up and continue. I'm going to turn off SkyMax Pro just so you guys can see what it does. I hope it doesn't crash. Where is it? SkyMax Pro. There we go. Is it any smoother? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, possibly, but not a great deal. We got to 40 frames, but then we're heading out of the city. I like the way SkyMax renders the light, though. In fact, the sun looks a bit. Let me just go here. So yeah, lens flare effect we can turn off if you want. I don't know how much of an effect. We can turn off God rays as well, but I quite like having that on. And of course we can mess around with the sky colors as well. Hazy day, high contrast. Yeah, let's try that. There we go. So yeah, cockpit looking very, very clean, very, very sharp with all that anti-aliasing going on. But still, we've got jagged shadows in the cockpit. And the scenery down below looking spectacular. It really is. Glorious. Yeah, a little bit stuttery, but nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. Now, granted, I don't think this is a particularly taxing aircraft, so are you going to be able to do this in the Zibbo or the Tollis? Probably not get good decent frames anyway. But certainly for GA flying in a light sort of resource aircraft, it's very doable. And of course this scenery is Orbx scenery, so definitely not light, packed full of autogen. And this is where Vulkan really comes into play, because it preloads all of this. There's no loading while you're flying, hence no stuttering, or very, very little stuttering. So that is the main benefit of Vulkan. But yeah, this is very, very flyable. And it's quite interesting having the best fidelity possible in X-Plane right now. 34 frames. We're about 30 on the ground, I believe. We'll see when we land. But that is very acceptable. And not seeing. There is the odd stutter, but nothing, like I mentioned, too bad. And just for your information, I'm running this at 1080, so it's not 4K. And my specs are a 9700K processor. It's overclocked to 5.1, 1080 Ti, 16 gig of RAM, and what else? I might have I think I've got a CMOS battery as well. There's a joke there, by the way, before you geek out on me. Every computer's got a CMOS battery, you idiot. But looking for stutters on final. And touchdown. Very smooth. I'm liking this. This works really well. I don't expect we'll be able to get anywhere near this at London City, but let's try that. Let's go there now. I'm not going to fly anything silly. I'll keep in the same aircraft, but we'll go to London City. I hope it doesn't crash. Okay, welcome back, guys. So we're here at London City, and my surprise, 30 frames, 31 frames. So let's yeah, something really odd going on with the rudder on this. Unless it's my Saitek, which it very well could be. Yeah, I'm quite surprised we're getting this performance here. Let's see if it's smooth or not. Yeah, so the weird sort of handling of the aircraft is something to do with either my rudder, which I'm using on the X45. I don't have rudder pedals, which is very silly. I haven't got around to getting them. So if you see jerky movements, it's actually not the frame rate, it's the aircraft or my controls. Anyway, right, full power, let's go. So far so good. Alright, and rotate. I'm quite used to this aircraft. Note the reflections there. Wow. I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It really does. Insanely good. Little stutter there. Obviously, this is just a test, guys. I mean, in reality, yeah, I'm noticing a few stutters now. I would definitely turn this down to get a smoother experience. But, I mean, it's definitely flyable. If you're doing a high-res video for a review or product or something, and you can edit out the odd stutter, I mean, to get the most visual bang for your buck, it's definitely doable. But as a flying experience, certainly in this area so far, I would say the stuttering is noticeable, because we're below 30 now. We're 28, 29, and as we approach the city, I mean, we are quite low as well, but I expect that that's probably going to get worse. Might not. Let's see. But do we have, if I disable SkyMax Pro, is that going to tip us over to 30? Oops, not this one. Admin plugin, enable, disable. It might well do that. Let's see. No. Pretty much the same. Okay. In that case, we'll turn it back on. Don't crash, don't crash. And by the way, just so you guys know, I have reset X-Plane, not in between these two flights, but when I changed the textures up to maximum, it does require you to do that. So so yeah, what you're seeing is actually, with the exception of shadows, everything on max, and it is flyable. It definitely is. Yeah, it is, but there are stutters. I'm not gonna rose tint this. There are stutters. It depends how sensitive you are. For me, knowing that I can notch this down and get a smoother experience, that's kind of what I would do. For other people who really care about the visuals, maybe not so much. So it just depends on your own preference. But now we're at 30. This is quite pleasant, I have to say. Let's do some crazy maneuvers here. Yeah, I mean, not too bad. Not too bad considering. I mean, it looks amazing. It really does. Hope you guys agree. So, yeah, I mean, let's go and land this thing. But my conclusion is that it's doable. It really is doable. And this is the beta. So if they squeeze out any more performance, you know, up to the release of Vulkan, then more and more of us are going to be able to really ramp up the settings to max even. You know, this is very doable. It's a really close margin. I would say you wanna be hitting 30 frames. You know, so I'm about 2, 3, or 4 frames off of that at times. So there's definitely a possibility that we could be seeing X-Plane in max settings if you do have a high-end computer. If you don't, then you're going to, you know, not be able to do that, I would imagine. But that reality of having a mid-range spec PC and being able to run X-Plane with high settings is, if not already here, very, very soon in the very near future. So guys, I hope you found this interesting, and yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm pretty surprised by this test, actually. I'm pleasantly surprised. But like I said, for me personally, I would notch it down just a tad, probably the anti-aliasing, in order to get slightly smoother experience. But guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.